All right. Good afternoon, media. Thank you for joining us for today's team announce and presser. This weekend, the Hollywood Bet Sharks are back at Hollywood Bets Kings Park, and we are taking on the defending Vodacom United Rugby Championship champions, Glasgow Warriors. The game takes place this Saturday, the 19th of October, with the kickoff at 3:45 in the afternoon. The floor is now open for questions. Nathan, I see your hand is raised. You can proceed.
Thank you very much. I've already spoken to Novashni to ask two questions up front, as I have to speak to the Deputy Minister afterwards. John, good day. John, to you. John, you've got 12 Springboks starting, including four current or former on the bench, if I'm not mistaken. But just looking at the team, do you feel like you're on cloud nine with the squad you've got this week, and considering the success the Boks have had in roughly the last 12 months? Is this possibly the strongest Shark side you've had?
Um, I really haven't thought about that, to be honest. My my thoughts have been just getting this team together. We've only arrived back from the UK or Italy on Monday. We have a fresh group of players and we have a group that's not so fresh. So just getting the balance of our week right in terms of our training has been my focus. And yeah, you can see the team that's been selected, obviously a strong team on paper, but it's how this team comes together, I guess, to play strong, is what really matters. And we've had a short prep. I've relied on combinations, probably more than playing together as a group, but relied on, there's four or five Springboks in that pack that have played together over the last couple of months. Not with us, but with them. So I've got guys that are tired from the tour. So I just thought it was probably better for me to um, just bank on that experience that I do have, and that they can come together real quickly.
You've touched on my next question, Plum. You're playing against the defending champs. You've decided to go full send and send the cavalry, the Bok players, majority of your first week of training in Durban. Now, in terms of team chemistry, we know what happened last year when this happened. Will it be different this year in terms of results?
I don't know. I can't predict the result, buddy. But it is what it is. We've decided to put them back in. They've had a couple of weeks rest. Um, you know, we've had a compromised week because of our travel. But that's the nature of this competition. And we're the only team in the competition that hasn't played a full strength side. And this week we are doing that. So again, I'm just relying on their experience. We've put a plan together, pretty simple, um, so that we didn't feel like we were overloading them. Because it's hard for the players when they come off the Springboks. They've got all the Springboks terminology, and when they come to their clubs, it's a different set of calls, etc., etc. So we just make sure that we did whatever work we could do with the boys when we were in Italy, with the players back home here. So just tried to be as smart as we can with our preparation. But yeah, it's been a good test for us this week as coaches, to try and get everyone up to speed with our plan. Um, and the boys, these experienced players are really good at coming together quickly. But the training today there was a bit of rust. There was, you could see we hadn't been together. But there were some good parts to our week as well, which was really strong. So I'm just relying on the boys, again, to gel real quickly, because they're going to come under a pressure against a really good Glasgow team that's also chock-a-block full of internationals, and they are the champion, defending champions. So we know what a challenge this is. This is the top team on top teams in the competition, and yeah, they're playing against a side that's strong, but probably just a little bit rusty at this stage. But we'll see how it goes.
Sorry, just finally, if I may, just the brothers are reunited, the Hendrickse brothers. Can you just speak about that combination? So much excitement going around.
Which brothers is that?
The Hendrickse brothers, 9 and 10 combination.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it was always our plan to give Jordan a run at 10 at some stage. Sears had a lot of starts, and again, he's there's a bit of wear and tear with him. So nice opportunity for me to freshen him up a little bit. Jordan's been hanging out for a crack at 10. Um, and yeah, it's exciting for the brothers. But again, you've just surprised me because I haven't even thought about that. So yeah, they are brothers, and hopefully they can play out on our stadium like they can play in the backyard at home a long time ago.
Thank you, Nathan. Next, we can have Jan, followed by Mike, followed by Grant.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, John. You partially answered my question earlier about uh,
Yep.
the challenge of getting these guys back onto your term and terminology and strategy. But the advantage you have of players of this quality is that they seem to respond to pressure. They seem to respond to the big game. Do you think that's the biggest attribute that this team has is the quality and experience that they've got?
Well, I think when you're bringing a group together, I guess it's almost like bringing a barbarian side together for the first time. You're just relying on the big players and players that have got experience to gel quickly. It's certainly been working with a team for like 7 weeks, well, 6 or 7 weeks, if you like, and then all of a sudden the team changes a lot, and so you're relying on, their experience to gel them. Like I said, more than a couple of times, I guess. But look, if you're gonna if I'm gonna say, is this Shark side going to get better and better? Yes, it will. Is it going to be good enough to beat the champions Glasgow side on the weekend? It's not beat around the bush here. This is a really good Glasgow team. They've proven themselves time and time again under pressure as well. They've got their big players, and it's going to be a massive challenge for us.
Yeah. And that leads exactly into the question that I was going to ask is, uh,
Oh
given
man,
the
I'm
nature,
predicting more today.
yeah, you should be the other side of the screen.
Oh, you can have a go at my job. I'm more than happy to swap if you like.
I don't think I'm as good at your job as you is at mine.
I don't know.
Uh, the key to these games is obviously you got to lay a base and you got two massive packs. Talk to us about the importance of laying that base for the exciting backs outside.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And if we get the momentum that we need, then that will give the time and space that the backs need. And that's something that Glasgow will be aware of, and it's not too dissimilar with our defence. If they get the momentum and they get on the front foot, they are deadly, and we can't allow that. So it's a it's going to be a lot of collisions. It's going to be physical, and it's going to be about two packs going hard at each other, two sets of defences going hard at each other, and it'll be about who takes the opportunities and who has the moments in the game that are soft and allow an easy try in. That will determine the winner. So hopefully we'll be the better on the day, but again, massive challenge because of the fact that we are coming back together with a compromised week. But again, I'm just relying on those big boys that to come through and our teamwork to gel as quickly as possible.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jan.
Plum, Mike here. Yeah, I know you. Just in terms of the box coming back, I know you like to talk to the guys personally and just see where they all are in their various journeys. Is that rugby championship hangover almost literally gone, and are these guys like really keen to get back into the black and white of the Sharks? What's your impression been of what they've had to say?
Yeah, no, definitely. They enjoy playing together. When you're in when you're in an international setup and you have success, you build bonds and close relationships, and you can see that when these guys come back, they've got that bond. There's a lot of respect for each other as teammates and as friends. And you bring that dynamic back into our team, and the rest of us just jump on that boat, and enjoy their company and They've been great coming back in. Sia and Eben, fantastic. Bongi, Ox, yeah, those leaders really just helping everyone else and helping everyone else get settled. They've had a longer week than they started preparation on Monday. We started preparation on Wednesday, so um, they've been great. But again, it all come down to how quickly we um, can get all those combinations up and running on the park um, as soon as possible. But from a motivational point of view, there's not a problem there. They want to do well, and they want to. We started something last year, and that's or last season, and everyone recognises that, and we're a way better unit this year than we will be last year, and but it could take a little bit of time, but we'll never know. We'll see how it goes.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hi, Plum. It's Grant. How are you going?
Hey, good, good, good.
Excellent. Plum, just if you can chat about Eben coming in as your captain and just from your time in Wales, New Zealand, Ireland, and Japan, what do you look for in a leader, and who are some of the men that have stood out to you over the years?
Um, Oh, look, I mean, Eben did a great job for us last year when he took over from Lacanio. He enjoys the role of a leader. He's really real natural in the way he runs the rugby team. He allows others to lead in different areas, and he's demanding on others as well, and including his fellow leaders. Obviously he's got a great amount of respect from everyone here at the Sharks, and he's passionate about wanting to do well. I mean, even a guy that's done so much in the international scene. He's hungry to do something, and you can see what it meant to him winning the Challenge Cup last year, and he was the first one to text me when we'd won the Curry Cup. So he's just that type of character. He wants to win. He's competitive. He wants to win all the time, and that type of mindset and attitude rubs off onto others, and that's ultimately what you want in a leader. I've had the same here with Johan Muller. John Smith's similar character. Back in New Zealand, Tana Umaga. I've rubbed shoulders. TJ Perenara is a classic, and Dane Coles. I've rubbed shoulders with all those guys as leaders and captains, and they've all got similar characteristics. And I think Eben's got that, Sia's got that, Bongi's got that. We've got a few boys that have got that, and they want to win and at all costs, and that's what drives them.
And just lastly, from my side, Plum, just in terms of Eben becoming the most capped Springbok of all time, what do you make of that milestone? How special?
Yeah, how good, eh? Like, yeah, I mean, the thing is that stands out for me. Um, you see players that have played that many test matches, and particularly in the tight forwards, they start to slow down. But he's such a good athlete. His speed is still good. His strength is obviously still good. So it's a testament to his professionalism as a athlete. You know, he can go. He can go. If we manage him properly here, and he's got the desire, he can easily do another World Cup if he carries on the way he is. So yeah, I mean, it's a testament to his professionalism, how he goes about his business, where he's got to, and that's what I admire because players can do well in a structured environment, but when they're outside the environment, it's how well they can structure their own time and being the best that they can be. And he falls into that category. I've seen other players with long careers like Manonu and that have had longer careers because of the way they manage their bodies and look after themselves. And that takes a lot of discipline and commitment.
Thank you. Next up, we have Kotso, followed by Percival.
Afternoon, plumbers. Just a couple of questions from my end. First one, some few learnings from that indifferent tour in Europe. How quickly will you be able to implement whatever you've learned? Is this week long enough for you to guys turn things around this coming weekend?
Oh, I think there. I mean, quite a few learnings. I mean, I thought that we were half burnt before we even got to the UK through the Curry Cup. Two trips to the Highveld, 180 minutes. With a reduced squad, and then going over there and playing three different countries. We're traveling between. So that's the learning for me, is that how we avoid that next year. From a rugby perspective, yeah, I'm there were some trends in our game that I didn't enjoy. There were some good parts to it as well. We can play really good football, but we can have soft moments that cost us. And um, that was tough. That's the tough part. But I just think we got more tired as that tour went on. And certainly in the last game against Benetton, I think we were running on 50% petrol, mate. Look, I think I think that petrol tank was contaminated. It didn't look like we didn't look like we had the same energy. You can see that in the players running out on the pitch. Like when I watch athletes, how they move, in terms of like scrambling back or a line break, and then it's coming forward, or just the energy getting across the pitch. That's a key indicator for what they've got in the tank. And I didn't see much against Benetton. We struggled to get momentum. We struggled to get a line break. They tackled us really well. There was credit to their defence, but I don't think we had the legs that day. That's why I'm banking on this week that we have a bit more energy from fresh group.
And talking about the fresh group, plumbers, some tired guys coming in. How vital has it been that there's that positive injection from guys who've won back to back World Cups?
Yeah, the boys have had a couple of weeks off, so they're fresh and they're ready to go. So um, yeah, that's not they're excited. And their excitement's got to rub off on the group that's come back from tour. And we've tried to manage the load of the boys that have come back from tour, and we've sort of, as the week's gone on, we've increased the load of the players returning from the box. So yeah, we've tried to do it as scientifically as we can, and we'll see how it goes on Saturday.
You guys wearing the underdogs tag this weekend with a number of changes and obviously playing against the defending champions?
Is that right? Oh, yeah. Well, it is the best team in the comp right now, and yeah, it's like I said a couple of times now, it's going to be tough. We've got a good team, and we're playing at home, and we're looking forward to playing home. By the way, like we've been away from home for over 5 weeks, so yeah, it's going to be nice. It'd be nice to get a good crowd out here in the weekend.
Thank you. Percy, followed by Avuyile.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Coach. Coach, I would apologize in advance. I'm struggling to structure my question, but I'm just going to go it to you now. Coach, can I ask you? You've mentioned the fact that you are hoping to give some of your players who've played on tour some rest. Did you select this team with all your Springboks with the hope of giving your team momentum or getting yourselves back on the winning path? And is this a once-off selection for just this coming week's match? Because I'm also wondering at the same time, for how long will you have some of these senior Springboks available? Because obviously soon they'll be called up for national duty again to go to Europe again.
I know the plan is that we'll have them for the next 2 weeks, and then they'll go away in November, and they'll come back and they'll be available to us. Sorry, so yeah, we've got to get them back in. This will be good for us the next fortnight, and if we have some success, then it'll set us up nicely for when they do get back from tour. But the Springboks have a big load. They've just come off the Rugby Championship. Now they're going on a November tour. They come back to us end of that month, and we're into a busy, busy calendar. So yeah, again, it's going to come down to resting and making sure that they are playing rugby fresh, because it's really hard to play rugby when you're not fresh. And we've got to make sure that we manage these guys properly, and that's a big part of my job, making sure I negotiate the squad through turbulent seas, if you like, because it's going to be there's a massive load required of these boys, and we've just got to make sure we do a good job in looking after them.
And just lastly, coach, a very simple question. I was going to follow up to my colleague's previous question. Are you guys, in your opinion, are you guys the underdogs, or are you guys favorites this weekend there in Durban, sir, with a two-time World Cup winning Springboks in your lineups?
Oh, you can decide that, mate. I don't care. Doesn't worry me. Again, you guys got to remember, my focus is always just getting the team prepared. I don't think about stuff like favourites and non-favourites and all of that. If it just takes up too much of my energy.
Thank you so much, coach. Good luck.
Okay, mate.
Hi, Coach Plum. I hope you're good. Coach, maybe just away from, the squad selection, I'm interested to find out, this past week, one of your younger players, Sia Ningiza, left the club, going to the UK. With the Springboks, with the Sharks actually having so much talent in terms of the Springboks quality, experience, and so forth, is the union sort of concerned about losing younger players elsewhere who maybe are seeking game time, who decide to, look for other opportunities elsewhere? Is that a concern for you, or, is it just, it is what it is?
Um, yeah, look, I mean, the hardest thing about this tournament is when you've got a big squad is the players on the fringes of those squads sometimes don't get enough game time. So you're only allowed to take 28 overseas to come back. You've got to, there's always the pressure to win. It's not a really a it's not a really a competition that's designed for development. You look at Lorenzo, um, we've got Nick Hutton, we've got a couple of really, really promising youngsters coming through that I'm really keen to develop as we go through. Um, but if you think about Sia, he had a really nice opportunity to go play rugby in another part of the world, and I think that's really positive. Like, he can go over there and learn, and he'll come back, and he'll come back a better player, and that's a good thing. Like, there's no use sitting here and he's potentially number ninth or 10th loose forward in the rankings. So it's you can't keep them all, and but you've got to make sure that you do keep the right ones, and see it right now is not going to be pushing. If you're using him as an example, he's not going to be pushing for a place to make this starting URC squad or side.
Thanks, Coach.
All good. Is that enough?
Yeah, all good, my side. Thanks.
Are there
Thanks,
any final questions, media?
Yes, please. May I please ask two more questions, if I may?
Nathan, can we narrow it down to one, please?
Oh, sure, sure. Okay. Obviously, I've mentioned the players in the squad, the quality in the individuals, but for yourself personally, Plum, is there pressure to get a positive result with this team?
Mm, I thought that question might come, Nathan. Look, I mean, you could ask Jake, he's got a quality side. You could ask Dobbo, he's got a real quality side. Is there pressure for results? Yeah, of course there is. There's always pressure. We're in the pressure game. Like, that's just the way it is. We'll try and assemble a team that's got the best chance of winning, and we'll try and get it ready that's got the best chance of winning, and then we've got to let the boys go out there and play, and we all do our jobs, and every job here at the Sharks has got an element of pressure to it because that's the nature of the game. But do I let the pressure get to me? That's another conversation, and I can tell you right now, I don't. I sleep well at night. I've been doing this for a long time. I understand and my journey. I understand the pitfalls of being a professional rugby coach, and but I understand the joys of it as well. You look at the last 6 months, we've won 2 trophies, and we've got players that don't want to leave. We're recontracting really good players, and we're attracting really good players. So we're on the right path. So I don't let a weekend's performance define what we're trying to do, or I don't let a weekend's performance define my coaching career or anything like that. So yeah, I think and I don't know if a coach has ever said this to you, but you've got to find a balance when you're a professional rugby coach. You've got to be understand the highs, and you've got to understand the lows. And if you get too high, the low can be too low. So you'll probably find me when we have a win, I'll have a couple of beers, and when we lose, I'll have a couple of beers because it's part of the job. And yeah, I don't, like I say, I don't let it affect my night's sleep.
Media, thank you so much for joining us for today's team announcement presser. That concludes today's session. We hope to see you all at Hollywood Kings Park this Saturday to support our team. Thank you.